let's talk. How do you carry? Well, that's a loaded question in so many ways because there's so many considerations that people have to take with how they carry. And what I mean by how, I mean the position in which you carry your firearm. The different places. Do you carry appendix? You know, the old 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, like that thing. I prefer appendix carry. Center line. With some pew-pews, I like to carry just off my center line toward my dominant hand. And what do I mean by that? This is what I mean by that. I can draw my weapon from a seated position. It's the simplest thing in the world. I can sit here, I have not moved, thumb on the back cap, finger not on the trigger, right guys? And we put it right back. I did that from a seated position. Why is that important? In your everyday life, let's face it, we're seated a lot. Whether we're seated while we're driving, we're seated while we're at work, we're seated while we're out to eat with our families. These are all considerations, right, that I've made, which adds reasoning to why I carry appendix. Is that the whole reason and in totality why? No, there's a bunch of other reasons why I choose to carry appendix. And you know, the old fuds out there hate appendix because, you know, they go, well, what if you shoot your junk off? If you're scared of shooting your junk off, you should not be carrying in any position because you could shoot your cheek off, you could shoot your right thigh off, and I get it, it's our junk, guys. I understand why we're so wary, but at the same time, if you apply just that ideology to everything else, it's like you could shoot everything else off. You're still shooting yourself. It's just not in the junk, but you're shooting yourself nonetheless, right? So why would we want to encourage that, you know, or carry that mindset in? If that's why you're not carrying appendix, if that is your only consideration, I don't want to shoot my junk off, you shouldn't be carrying. Sorry, I said it. If no one's gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. You shouldn't be carrying. You should get more training. You should feel more comfortable with your firearm. If you cannot carry one in the pipe, appendix, don't carry. Train more, then carry. And I know some people hate that, well, you can't tell me not to carry my, yes I am, because you are more of a liability than you are a helping hand in any situation. If you're that uncomfortable, you're a liability. Sorry, again, someone is saying it. These are the realities. I'm here we're cutting through all the gun tuber stuff. We're cutting through all the gear, we're cutting through all the weapons, we're cutting through all the technology and the nods and the cool guy stuff, right? We're cutting through all of that, and we're gonna go somewhere right now that is a real level, reality. We're dealing with reality, right? So all the things I just said about being in a seated position, these things lend to the considerations of why I carry appendix. Another reason is I feel personally, for me, and this may be true for others, but I know I'm speaking from my experience because I'm not in any of y'all's bodies. For me, I have my fastest draw is from appendix. I feel like maybe my brain thinks it's a simpler action because it's a center line thing. And the way I draw from appendix, my non-dominant hand, it's still here, whether I'm drawing from outside the waistband, let's say for my security guys or my cops out there, or just anyone who wears a sidearm overtly as a part of their job. When I carry appendix, where's my non-dominant hand going when I lift my shirt? It's going here. When I'm outside the waistband, where's my dominant hand going and my non-dominant hand sitting? My non-dominant hand is still center line of my body. So when I grab outside the waistband, I can meet my dominant hand and push out, right? So it's the same action whether I'm doing this or if I come up and I draw, guess what I'm doing? I'm still meeting, right? I'm still meeting it. So the whole reason we carry appendix is so I can do this. When I come up here, my non-dominant hand is here. I'm drawing the pew-pew and I'm meeting my dominant hand with my non-dominant hand and I'm meeting it for the push out, right? So keeping that consideration in mind, this is why I choose to carry appendix. Why I don't carry at maybe the 3 or 4 o'clock position. Well, if I'm seated and I'm in a car and there's a center console of the car, guess what I now have to defeat? Because it's at my 3 or 4 o'clock. Or the seat behind me, the car seat. Now the weapon is wedged between my body and the seat, right? I have to lift my shirt, come all the way over with my non-dominant hand. I have to come up while I'm seated, go for those things that I'll need here. There's a lot of things to defeat. Like I said, you got the center console, you got the seat that you're in between. So many things to defeat when all I could do is just defeat my jacket. I don't have to defeat anything. I have to undo my seatbelt, boom, I'm there. And there are even some cases where if I know what I'm doing and I practice it and I drill it, I can draw this weapon by just grabbing the seatbelt with my jacket, right? I can show you guys that later, but ultimately you kind of want to have the seatbelt off because again, you're introducing other variables. Practice unclipping that seatbelt and going for that EDC, right? That's what we want. That's why we carry appendix, because I think this is 100 at this point. It's one of the most accessible positions. It's right in front of me. Things in everyday life normally aren't in my bubble, my 2 feet out from my body. Things normally in your everyday life do not sit, you know, that close to you. If you're sitting at a desk, your chair has wheels, right? If you're at work, something pops off, you have your EDC on you, you're at a desk, you can easily scoot back from the desk, you could stand up, draw your EDC. And maybe you're asking, well, what if I have a collared shirt and I have to tuck my shirt in? Wear a suit jacket. There's a lot of places people work in corporate America or just where you have to get dressed up to go to work. Pretty sure your boss isn't gonna be upset that you're wearing a suit jacket and looking more professional. Almost positive, unless you know you're working at a place where everybody has to be in the same uniform, then make your considerations. Don't let things like, I have to dress a certain way, stop you from protecting yourself. Make your considerations. If you have to tuck your shirt in and it's hard to conceal carry any point at all, right? If you have to tuck your shirt in, wear a jacket. Wear a blazer, wear a windbreaker, a rain jacket, any type of outward garment. It doesn't matter. A hoodie. If you're allowed to wear, you know, your company shirt and you're allowed to wear a hoodie at work, wear a hoodie with your collared shirt. You know, car salesmen at car dealership, I see them do it all the time. They have the hoodie on, they have a collared shirt with a tie under it. We see it all the time. It doesn't look out of place depending on what you're doing. These are the considerations I want you to think about. And don't just carry appendix because I'm saying carry appendix. I'm carrying appendix because it fits my lifestyle. I noticed that more times in my life than not, it would have been a lot more prudent and efficient to draw from appendix than anywhere else. And think about these things. Put yourself in mental situations. You're at the store, you're seated somewhere, you're at the park on the bench. Put yourself in a mental situation. Could I draw from my EDC right now? Could I draw from my waistline with an unobstructed draw and get that pew up to where it needs to be in the event that something happens? Can I do that from whatever way I'm carrying right now, right? So it's just all about those considerations. But I'll leave you with this, guys. You know, if you like our videos, subscribe to our videos, like our content, subscribe to all our content, follow the Instagram, comment, get our videos out, guys. I see a lot of comments, you know, saying, oh man, my friends really need to know this information. They all carry and they're all idiots because they do these things. Send this content to your friends. Some of it's common sense, but a lot of it, hey, you gotta be taught this stuff, right? So go out into your everyday lives, and I want you to think through your potential scenarios that you could have based on how you live your life, where you go, the kind of car you drive, everything. Just think, where am I in my life most likely to use my EDC? And I'm not saying that it's gonna be that. It may never be anything, and that's honestly what you want. You don't want a situation where you have to defend your life, but if it happens, you want to know how to deal with it. That's what you want. When, you know, stop being the guy that's, I wish somebody would try me. No, you don't. You don't want to blow somebody's head off in cold blood at 10 o'clock at night at the gas pump. I promise you, you don't. You don't want to do that. You think you want to do that. You want to do that in front of your wife, in front of your children who are also going to see this. This will always and forever will be a last resort. You don't want to do that. You want to live an unobstructed, peaceful life. But you want to also have the means to deal with life when that peace gets interrupted or disturbed. And I'll leave you guys with this. Remember, illuminate the darkness, because it is the only path forward.